If not, would she like to go out with him? Job stuff was about all he could handle, the same way he did with clients. Even then, he had to force himself. He would sit beside her, damn it. He followed her to the couch, mouth dust dry and pulse racing. She wore denim shorts, which gave him a nice view of her long, shapely legs. Taller than average, Kayla had curves. Real curves. He'd never been attracted to skinny model types. He preferred a woman with flesh on her bones, someone with plenty of snuggle potential. Not that he'd ever come close to having the opportunity. Just as he'd managed the superhero feat of sitting down beside the woman of his dreams, his phone rang. Wyatt reached into his back pocket and pulled out his cell to check the ID. His brother. "Hey, Sam." "Hey, yourself. Where are you?" Sam asked. "You're supposed to be here for a wedding planning session and dinner." "Cripes, sorry." He shot up from the couch. "Totally slipped my mind. We had a fire at my apartment building this afternoon and Is everyone all right? How bad was it?" "No injuries. The fire department got here before the fire had a chance to spread much." Wyatt edged his way past Kayla. Their knees touched as he slid by. Hers were bare, his were covered in denim. Still, his lungs seized. "I'm on my way. I'll tell you about it when I get there." Wyatt ended the call and stuffed his phone back into his pocket. "Sorry, I have to go. I totally forgot I'm supposed to be at a wedding planning thing right now." Kayla's blue eyes widened. "Oh. I'll bet you look great in a tux," Mariah purred. "I'm late. Gotta go," he muttered. "Wyatt?" Kayla called just as he opened her door. "Yeah?" Amazing how much he liked the sound of his name coming from her mouth. "Thanks for everything. I owe you. Rain check on the beer and pizza?" "Sure." She wanted a rain check with weird, scared hoodie guy. Grinning, he took the stairs to the back door, to the lot where he'd parked his truck. He climbed in, cranked the engine, and set out for his grandparents' house. They lived in a grand old 2-story salt box near McAllister College, the Matt Groveland area. After his parents died, he and his siblings had lived there too, and he loved the big old house. Living close to Grandpa Joe and Grandma Maggie was a priority for him. They were already in their early 70s, and if either of them ever needed him, or if something happened, he could get to their place quickly. Wyatt parked his truck and hurried inside. He passed through the front of the house to the kitchen, where a patio door led to their private fenced yard. Gramps was grilling burgers and brats. Wyatt's mouth watered at the scent of the grilling meat, and his stomach gurgled in agreement. He'd never gotten around to making that sandwich for lunch, opting to reinstall Kayla's deadbolt instead. "Sorry I'm late." "We heard you had a fire at your apartment," Grandma Maggie said, coming toward him. "Are you all right? Was there much damage?" She wrapped her arms around his waist. The top of her head didn't even reach his chin. "I'm fine." He hugged her back. "The fire wasn't in my apartment, Gram." Nothing beat one of his grandmother's warm, pillowy hugs. She always smelled like cookies and love. "Tell us what happened," Haley called from her place in one of the patio chairs. "Let me get settled first." His sister handed him a beer. "Thanks, Josie," he said, twisting off the cap. His soon-to-be sister-in-law's 2 best friends were also there. Felicia, Kathy, and his sister would be Haley's attendants, while he, their cousin Jerry, and Haley's brother Frank would stand up for Sam. "What have I missed?" Sam came through the patio door just then. "Well, we settled on where we're having the groom's dinner, and since you weren't here, we all voted. You get to pick up the tab." Ha ha, not very funny. Wyatt gave the barbecue grill a wide berth and wended his way to an empty chair. Ever since the stupid accident he'd had when he was a kid, the source of his ugly scars, he'd avoided charcoal grills altogether. "So, tell us about the fire," Sam said, taking his place beside Haley. The apartment